to discuss how to do a beard and a mustache trim. And my mannequin, I'm going to do half of it for you today. I saved the other half for the afternoon class. So, with any service, this is part of your haircut service, or sometimes your client may come in just for a beard trim. Okay? Be separate. But we're going to presume that he came in, we did our haircut, we're going to start with our normal processing steps, sanitize your hands, some materials, and so on until we get to the portion of discussing with the client.
Yes, discuss with client how beard is to be trimmed.
Okay. You need to talk to them. Not everybody wears their beard the same way. So I would want to ask him, how long do you want to go with it? Some men prefer really, really, really close. Some prefer it a little bit longer, but maybe a little bit more shapely. Okay? So you're going to talk about them with it first with them. What I would suggest if they're not sure is maybe to start with the larger attachments and then work your way down. Okay? I don't want to ask my client, okay, you want a number 4. This will leave it a ½ inch long. How many men can actually, measure their beard hairs to tell you how long that they are. So again, you might want to start first of all. I always keep my comb in hand, just like anything else. Just like when you're doing a clipper cut. You're going to imagine it's basically like a clipper cut, but you're going to be doing it on facial hair. So if they have longer hair, you want to have the back pulled back so that you're not cutting it. And you're going to comb it smooth. And I'm going to be taking my attachment and I'm going to be holding this part flush with this the skin. Now, this can be done with the clippers. It can also be done maybe freehand. Get your scissors out. You also want to make sure that you get underneath. Just like with the clipper cut, you're going to be cutting it every which direction. Now, again, this is with the clipper attachment, or maybe I just want to do it with my shears. I can do the same thing, just like you're doing a 90-degree cut. You're going to hold it out. Your fingers are parallel with the scalp, and you can cut as well. So what type of a cut is this? What elevation?
45?
90. 90. Now to do the mustache, this is going to be the hair coming down over the lip. What I found the easiest thing to do, again, have your comb. You want to, first of all, you're going to cut right along the lip line. And it's best to work with, you can do a fixed hand if you're a little bit shaky. You want to cut from the center of the lip, the cupid's bow, to the outer part. And then do the other side. Usually it's done right along the lip line. You want to talk with your client again. This is part of your consultation because, sometimes they might want that maybe just a little bit longer. Now, if the mustache is still a little bit too bushy, we can do our scissor over comb technique. You're going to hold it out and take your shears. Right over top. You do that with your. Now you can also use the little clippers. I would suggest that you only use these if there's just a small amount of hair that you're removing, okay? If you remember, beard hair is coarser than what capella hair is, your scalp hair is. And why is that? Because what is present?
Medulla.
A medulla, right. It's very, very coarse. If you have a really long beard and you take these little buggers through it, they'll get bogged down because there is so much there. So again, you only want to use these, and they have the same sizes as what the other ones do. Would be if you just have a small amount you need to do. They're kind of nice. They get in a little bit better. See how much nicer this one gets in underneath here and on the chin area? And it's just like a clipper cut. You kind of go every which way so that you can get that nice layered in there. Now you do want to keep this, take the guard off it, and use this to do your finishing work. Let me grab me a towel too, please, over there. Okay. Just like with a haircut, what's the last thing we do? We clean up around the hairline, right? You're going to do the same thing with the beard, okay? We don't have a hairline, but we do have a perimeter on it. And you're going to have your client lift their head up. Steven here doesn't do real well lifting his head up for me, but just above there. Okay, and you're going to have your cutting line. Again, just like when you're doing with your finishing of your neckline, you always turn the clippers over to draw a line. And you want to straighten up this line. And you may have to have them, again, hold their head up, and you're drawing a line from this part and curving it up through to the ear. Again, on the side, if I just want a little bit of an angle here, I have to take the clipper in at a bit of an angle. And then anything here on the neck would go down to clean that all off. You can also take these. Sometimes you'll have, like the mustache hairs are really hard to get into, some of those little ones. And you can take your clippers. You're going to have to be very, very careful if you do this though. And put it right on here and just use it right at the lip line. Now, you have to be careful though, because some men, if they're extremely ticklish and they jump, what's going to happen? Yep, he just lost his mustache. So you want to be very careful with that. You can also do scissor over or the clipper over comb technique with this. Okay. And again, clean up his neckline. You want to also watch with where you put your line at. Okay. Some men have it like right underneath. Some may have it right at the jawline. I really don't like the jawline unless your client has maybe a real thin neck that he's trying to make it look and appear thicker. What would happen if you took it too short and your client had like a double chin?
That would be embarrassing.
It's going to make it more pronounced. Okay, so be very careful about that. A lot of times it's just like we do with hair cutting and hairstyling. We do corrective hairstyles to make offset certain facial features. Okay, do the same thing with the beards. Okay, it's part of your creativity too. You can also take and cut lines up in through here. Maybe sometimes the lines, they want them to come down in further. Maybe they might want it into a V, you know, a little bit of a design shape. Maybe your client wears a goatee. Do you know what a goatee is? Okay. What?
Isn't it like one of the, I don't.
Okay. It would just be the beard, the mustache, and then maybe this part. The rest of this is all shaved off. Okay. It will just come down around like this. Okay. There's so many different things for men. You know, and they have so many different options on how you style their beards too. It's just not always the same old thing. Just like your hair, you can do different variations with the haircut. You can do a lot of different variations with the beard too. Okay. Now let's just say your client, maybe he didn't have a beard, but he does just have sideburns trimmed. When you cut the sideburns, okay, some of the men have the long ones. What do they call them?
Pork chops.
Pork chops, there you go. You want to make sure that they're even on both sides. How do you even it up? Same way you do a haircut, right? You're going to hold it down like this. You can use your finger, you can use a comb, and you're going to stand in front and you're going to eye it up to make sure that they're even. You can't always go with the ear because not everybody's ears are on straight, okay? Some might have an earlobe up a little bit higher or lower, so you always want to eye them up that way. Usually with them, you're going to do scissor over comb technique. And again, once you get your length established, and then blend it in. Depending on the length of the hair. If your client's hair is very, very short up here, you don't want bushy sideburns. You want to layer them in. Most guys don't like that real, real bushy. They like them nice and close. So you might want to use one of your attachments or just do the clipper over comb technique with it. Okay? Or again, you can comb it this way, hold it out with your fingers, and cut with your shears. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Once you get him finished, you've cleaned up your neckline, You want to have a towel, brush all the loose hairs from him. Give him a mirror, have a look at it, see what he thinks. Again, I can always go shorter, I can't put anything back on, so that's why you always want to start with a larger clipper and then work your way down